Hello, welcome back to the vlog. Today we're starting an exciting one. I truly don't know how I'm still sick. I don't even know if I've talked about it. Today is November 8th and we are going to be finishing the Magnolia Parks series. But as I was saying, I've been sick for days. I've been sick since, I think it was Halloween. It came, it went away. Came back, went away again, it's back again. I don't know what's wrong with me, but it's fine, everything's fine. Yes, I do have a full face of makeup on. I need to take off these nails because I am on my way to, well, I'm about to be on my way to rehearsal and we're doing a photo shoot today. But I just wanted to intro this vlog now because I'm gonna start reading as soon as I get home. So you'll also notice these will be gone the next time you see me. I'm not doing anything weird, I just need to take them off in the car. Anyway, today I'm gonna be starting at Magnolia Parks, what is this one called? The Long Way Home. I've been sitting on these for months. I ordered these in September, I think. Maybe end of August, September, when I did my first Magnolia Parks reading vlog. I also did a vlog for Daisy Hates. So then I'm just gonna be doing the last 3 that we have so far in the series in this one vlog. So this is gonna be over like a couple weeks. There will be spoilers in this vlog. I just feel like if you've read 1 and 2. Also, I'm late in reading the series anyway, so I feel like you should know, you should already know. I also wrote down some predictions that I have because it's fun. So, okay, my long-term predictions, I don't even remember who this is. Tara? Who is Tara? Tara isn't going away. Romeo will like die. Magnolia and Julian will get together. Okay, I already saw what might have been a spoiler because I follow, what is it called? Is it Magnolia Parks Universe on Instagram? And I saw that like there's a wedding in the final book, Into the Dark, which I have here. And I think it might involve the two of them because I saw some, like a quote that sounded like it was coming from Daisy because it said something about she was on her walking down the aisle on my brother's arm. But also I guess they don't have siblings, they don't have parents. So maybe Daisy is walking down the aisle, like maybe Julian's walking Daisy down the aisle. I don't know. I hate that I saw that. And I also feel like Julian has to like marry Magnolia because otherwise, like, why is he so important? Like, why do we care? Why do we have his point of view? I also never mentioned in my Daisy Hates vlog that Julian texted Magnolia like 3 times basically to just like check on her. So it's giving like they're in love. I hate my voice, I'm so sorry. You won't hear me talking that much after this. I just have to intro the vlog. When I'm reading, I'll be reading, I'll be quiet. Daisy and Christian will have a normal life together. That's what she wants. She wants to get out of this life, or is it him that wants to get out? Wow, I really need to go back and rewatch my own vlogs. Tiller, the cop, will probably die in the crossfire. Yikes. Tom will be a good friend to Magnolia. Tom was her fake boyfriend for a while. Also, it's so interesting watching other people's reading vlogs of the first 2 books that I read, Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates, because I feel like everyone has a different perspective or a different opinion, which is so interesting and like really cool for the author, Jessa Hastings, I feel like. I personally love me some Julian. He might be my favorite man out of all of the characters. But I did see one vlog where this girl's like, I hate Julian, like how could he kidnap those kids and talk to his sister that way, da da da. But then other people are like, I love Julian, like he's such a badass when he's at work, but then he's like really sweet to Magnolia and Daisy, like I don't know. Also, I saw some people like really sad over the ending of Daisy Hates where like Daisy and Christian like couldn't be together, and my reaction was more of like a seriously, like this is dramatic. But anyway, those are my thoughts. I'm really excited for The Long Way Home. It is, let's see. Ooh. It is, oh my gosh, it is 525 pages. Wow. I mean, I knew she was thick, but like, yikes. Okay, 525 pages. I'm gonna cry. Yeah, it says, I'll wear it like a badge of honor forever that he loved me first, that he loved me at all. Have you ever had a love like that? Star-crossed sweethearts Magnolia Parks and BJ Ballantine must finally face the question they've been avoiding all their lives. How many loves do you get in a lifetime, and are they each other's? Oh my gosh, there's like 2 like dead bees. Yikes. I will see you all when I get back home from rehearsal. Alright, it's actually been a couple couple of days. I am 100 pages in and I am unwell. I got to 100 last night and I just laid in my bed with my eyes open and I just was unwell. I never thought that it could go deeper than what we were already at. Like, I thought that we would be staying in the present tense and moving into the future. I didn't think that we would be learning about things that happened in the past that explain why Magnolia and BJ are the way that they are. I already said there's gonna be spoilers in here, but here's a second warning. If you have not read this, please exit. There will be spoilers and you will not recover from these spoilers. You won't be able to read the book, okay? Here we go. I have a lot of notes. I love how Magnolia and Tara are like BFFs. I hate that BJ has a girlfriend, Jordan, but I get what from his perspective, how he's saying he kind of like fell into it. Like, I get that. Oh my gosh. Now that I'm seeing this note about Magnolia being back home in London for 3 weeks after her dad's wedding, staying through December 3rd, I did a little eyes emoji, like, oh, she's staying for like their special day that they always meet up on. And now that I'm 100 pages in and I know what that special day means, they had a freaking kid, or they didn't have a kid, but they were pregnant, lost their baby when they were like 16. I can't wrap my head around that. And poor Magnolia, that's all I can say. Poor Magnolia. I like their relationship. Like, I get it. I get it. Also, I previously mentioned these 2 dead bees on the back of the book, and BJ got a tattoo on his hand of 2 dead bees, which is kind of wild. Like, why would he do that? Like, that to me is showing that like their relationship is dead. I mean, come on, BJ, why would you do that? Also, the other insane thing that happened, BJ explaining the why for why he cheated on Magnolia with Paley, is that he saw that girl, I forget her name, Sadie. And we heard about this in the first book. He was saying that he saw the girl and then he went downstairs and Paley followed him and da-da-da-da. But we didn't really know his relationship with that Sadie girl. Basically, she like took advantage of him when he was very young. So he saw her, was triggered, and needed to escape and forget about that. It was also crazy how it was written, because Magnolia on December 3rd, Magnolia went to their spot at the tree. He wasn't there because he thought that she wasn't coming. She's like, I see our initials, all 3 of us. And I'm like, all 3 of us? And she says something about like our baby girl. And I'm like, what? I had to reread that like multiple times. I look around for him, hoping he's just a moment away. My eyes trace the tree, find our initials carved into it, all 3 of ours. And then my eyes fall down the trunk to the stone we laid to remember the tiny baby girl we lost that no one even knows we had. What? When I was reading that in my bed, I was literally like, are you guys hearing this? To myself, because there was nobody there. My boyfriend was there, but he was asleep next to me. I was shocked. And then after hearing, like, deep diving into that, I'm unwell. And I don't know, I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know why it took me so long to read this after reading the first 2. I knew I wanted to take a break, but I think I was just overwhelmed at how much, how big they are. But how could I forget that Jessa Hastings' writing is just unmatched? It's just captivating and it just keeps you interested. And like, I would have kept going last night if I didn't, it was late and I had to get up early and I was already really tired. But like, I could read this in a day. It's just her writing. 10 out of 10. BJ, get it together, sir. Beach, I don't understand why he's acting like this. I mean, I guess he is a boy, but I really feel like he wasn't like this in the first book. Maybe he was. I don't know, but I feel like Magnolia is really carrying right now. Magnolia just ran in athleisure, which she doesn't wear and she doesn't run, ran to his house and confessed her love, and he's like, what do you want me to say? Like, I mean, about halfway, and this is actually the start of part 2, whatever that means. I really thought that we were making some progress. The last like 50 pages. Well, first of all, I'm starting to become sick of BJ and his lying. He's going out of his way to be around Magnolia, and he doesn't even like his girlfriend, and the only reason he didn't break up with her is because her parents are getting divorced and she was all sad about that, so he can't break up with her, obviously. But then he's acting like he's upset that he has to be around Magnolia, and he keeps reminding her that he has a girlfriend. And I'm just like, sir, you slashed the car tire so that you guys couldn't go back to your apartment with your girlfriend, and then you paid the front desk guy $1,000 in cash to tell the girls that you had to share a room. But you're acting like, I mean, the gaslighting, I can't. Yeah, he's very, yeah, BJ's a no for me. Like, I know most people want them to end up together. Obviously, I still have, I don't have the full story, but BJ is a no for me. Oh my God. And I knew that they were going to sleep together. BJ kept saying, like, he really didn't want to. He didn't want to cheat on his girlfriend. But I'm just like, yeah. And then Magnolia is a little bit dramatic because she's like mad at him that he cheated on his girlfriend, but she wanted to sleep with him. Well, I know Magnolia, and I know she's not done with BJ for good. I mean, I just know it. I mean, we still have a whole book and a half to get through, but she said she's going back to New York. She said she is done with that man. I don't believe her, but I will support that decision. I've been reading all day, and I only have like 40, 45, maybe 50. Now that I think about it, I may have been wearing this exact outfit the last time I vlogged. It was a couple days ago. Let me share my thoughts before we finish. Magnolia is finally sleeping with Julian. You know, I love Julian. I'm sorry. I don't know. He's my favorite. I love me some Julian. I've said that before. I love this era of Magnolia doing whatever she wants to do, sleeping with whoever she wants to sleep with. Like, sorry, but it's her time. Beach has had his time. It's Magnolia's time. Two things that don't seem like a huge deal in this plot, but I feel like are going to come back to us, because you know Jessa Hastings loves to like surprise us with like things that you didn't think were important. She did that with Paley in the first book. Something's weird about Jonah and Henry both sleeping with the girl Tara. Like, they keep bringing that up, like, oh, it's getting really messy, or like, oh, they're looking at each other weird. Like, that to me means something. And then the second thing is BJ's girlfriend Jordan. She just was very much giving like too fascinated with like Magnolia and the other friends, but we'll come back to that in my notes. I feel like Magnolia and Julian were together for a long time, throughout this story. But what was weird was they were all at Carmelo, who is one of Julian's best friends, opened up a new restaurant. They were all there, and there was like a blackout and stuff went down, and then Julian basically told Magnolia like, we're done. So I'm feeling like Magnolia is starting to become like a second Daisy for Julian, where like people are seeing them together, so she's becoming like a, what do you call, like, I guess like a weak point for him. So he was like, we gotta be done. That was interesting, because there was another like party or something where Jonah and Julian were both like acting all weird, and then there was security outside of Magnolia's house, and Julian left her with his main security guard. That was weird. And Julian was saying Jonah said taking precautions with Magnolia, said that to BJ, and like wouldn't tell BJ what was going on. I thought that was really weird, because like Magnolia is BJ's girl. Like, come on, guys. I'm so glad that BJ did finally end it with Jordan. I'm glad that she was cool about it, and I was definitely correct that she was kind of like using him for clout. She said her following has like tripled since she's been dating him. I'm not mad. She's gone, left peacefully. I'm good with that. I was getting so upset when BJ was trying to tell Magnolia that he broke up with Jordan, especially at his sister Allie's 21st birthday, and they kept like getting interrupted, and he wouldn't just like say like, oh, we broke up, like you should break up with Julian. That was pissing me off. Shout out to Julian again. I'm telling you, I love Julian. Like, he's my favorite of all the boys. Shout out to him for, he says he planned this. And also, like, part of me is like, was BJ in on this? Julian planned to, at whatever party they were at, like basically hook up with another girl in the hallway
BJ and Magnolia went to go find Julian, which is weird, and that's why I feel like maybe BJ was in on it, went to go find Julian and saw him like hooking up with this girl. Magnolia got all mad and BJ like fought him for her, and then later like BJ basically tells Magnolia like, you should end it with Julian, I ended it with Jordan, let's do it. She ends it with Julian and he explains why he did that. He's like, I know you wanted to be with BJ, like now you guys can be together, love me some Julian. This is me making it hurt, by the way, if you couldn't tell. And I love that they can still be cool. Like, he's like to Magnolia, if you ever need anything, like, I'm your guy. I just love him. Tell me why BJ wants to be friends. Like, excuse me, sir, seriously, after all this, you just want to be friends? Like, I get it. I feel like it's very mature of him, and it's making me... I mean, BJ is still very problematic, but I feel like the boys in this series are just great. They're just great. And it's very mature of him. It's very much giving girl that he would decide that. But I get it, that, like, they really need to learn how to trust each other because their relationship... I mean, we already know. I'm very interested to hear more about this tape of Christian and his ex-girlfriend, Vanna, that, like, got out and went viral, and Daisy's all upset, and Magnolia has to, like, convince her that Christian loves her and da-da-da. Dying to hear more about that in Daisy's book, hopefully. Last thing, BJ and Magnolia, friends, were out shopping. They like got food or whatever and went shopping, and they run into Paley. First of all, my heart stopped. My stomach was going to throw up my dinner. I'm still really hurt by Paley, as is Magnolia. And Paley doesn't understand why Magnolia can like forgive BJ but not forgive her, even though technically she hasn't fully forgiven BJ and like she doesn't fully trust him yet. But yeah, I mean, that's hard. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't even know how she... Well, I guess I do know how she's okay with BJ because he explained everything that happened that night and he saw the girl that had taken advantage of him before. But still, that's hard. I can't believe I've read all of this. Wild. Let's keep going. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I stopped when I did because the first page, the first line of this chapter, chapter 74 on page 480, it's a Magnolia chapter. The first line is, maybe I should have smelled it in the air. Trouble. After Paley, how could I not? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, and Christian and Jonah's mom is in the hospital, which I feel like is going to be important. I think Magnolia and Bridget just got into a car accident. I could be wrong though. I closed the book before it got too crazy. Magnolia's driving. Her phone rings. I believe it's BJ. Bridget answers. What? Oh, thank God. Somebody just rear-ended them. Oh wait, just kidding. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my God. Maybe it wasn't BJ on the phone, because BJ is saying he got the call when he was with Henry. We're good. She's okay. Shattered her collarbone. It's crazy. Wait, hold on a second. Because Bridget is saying we were driving, everything was normal, then someone rammed into the back of us. I think we must have sort of spun into the other side of the road, and then this other car drove straight into her. That's giving, like, intentional. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm scared. I forgot that I've heard that Into the Dark deals with grief. And now I'm being paranoid. I'm being paranoid. Let me shut up. BJ just proposed and bought them a house. I'm having deja vu because now they're engaged and they're so in love and they're about to have dinner with the full box set, and it's giving in Magnolia's first book when they decided to get back together and forget everything that he cheated on her and da-da-da, and then she went to hug Paley and we all know what happened. My heart is literally beating. I'm traumatized from the first book, so I just have to be happy. They're engaged, they're so happy. Something's weird about Christian. Christian didn't show up to the like engagement party, and now Henry and BJ are being weird when Magnolia and Bridget are like, what's up with Christian? Why wasn't he there? Christian and Jonah are both MIA. Daisy went away. Julian sent her away. Tara broke up with Jonah but doesn't want to be with Henry. And Bridget is rubbing her temple. And my boyfriend's peeing and it's loud. And now Bridget is saying she's really tired, she needs to go to bed, something's wrong, and this is what I was paranoid about when they first got into the crash. Oh my God. Oh no, no, no. I knew it. I knew it. And I said I was being paranoid. I knew it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. Her sister is dead. Her sister is fucking dead. I knew it. When they were in the car accident and she was fine, I knew it. It was giving Derek Shepherd. Oh my god. And apparently Julian's been shot too. Oh my god. I don't even know what to say. I was not expecting that. Jessa, I mean, come on. I can't believe this. Alright. Well, yeah, I don't know what to say, but I will say 5 stars. I flew through this. 525 pages is a long one. It should have taken me a lot longer than a week, but it only took me a week, and I'm obsessed, and I'm going to start Daisy Hates immediately. Oh my god. And I'm not going to be okay to read Into the Dark. That's all I have to say. Alright, we're back. I have been reading The Great Undoing. I'm 100 pages in now, and I have some first thoughts to share. I think I'm going to get through this one pretty quickly. I actually wanted to be 200 pages in, which is like more than halfway by the time I was giving this, I don't know what I call this, giving my TED Talk about it, but I'm only 100 pages in and that's fine. First thoughts, I'm looking at notes on my phone by the way. First thoughts, I am definitely more of a Magnolia girl. I thought I knew this after I read Daisy's first book, and now it's confirmed for me. I do still love Daisy, I really do. And I especially love hearing from Christian and Julian. The sun just disappeared. But overall, I'm a Magnolia girl, but I've also heard that everyone loves The Great Undoing. Like some people say this is their favorite of the series. So I don't know, I'm excited. I thought it was so interesting that Daisy and the cop, Tiller, are like together, like for months, and he's living in her apartment because, you know, she like ran away, she like moved out of her brother's house. I thought that was like just, I don't know, I mean, I'm glad that she has him, but it feels just like fast, I don't know. Daisy receiving flowers for weeks, like, and nobody noticing that, and her not noticing, like, who are these flowers from, Miss Ma'am? Like, that didn't freak you out? I mean, come on guys, let's nobody noticing is wild. I also love Romeo, I can't believe his name is Romeo, but him following her from class to her car every day, that's so sweet. It's kind of creepy, and it's sad that she like has to live like that, but I love that. Then we get a flashback to a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago. Daisy and Tiller saved Julian's life because he's been shot twice. And that was at the very end of The Long Way Home. A text message from one of Julian's guys asking Miguel, who has been secretly protecting Daisy, where's her address? Julian's been shot. Like, you need to send me her address. Like, we need her to, you know, because she's like a doctor and everything. It's just crazy how Tiller, like, put himself in this bad situation where he's supposed to be out to get Julian and like find him guilty for whatever, and he actually is literally saving his life and living with his sister, and has to turn a blind eye to everything that they're doing, kind of. It's kind of crazy. But that said, I think it's very clear that he like actually does really love Daisy, and that's weird to me that her and him both like have said to each other that they love each other. That's crazy. But I mean, it's clear. Moving more into like Christian's story, I'm glad Daisy was in danger, so she had to go back home and be around Julian, and I'm glad that Julian and Christian are like friends now, so he's always around and him and Daisy can be close. I love that. Also, I just thought it was really interesting to hear the conversation about everyone that Magnolia had been with in New York through Christian's point of view, because we got that full story. Was it through BJ's eyes or was it through Magnolia? But either way, she rewrote that whole entire scene. It wasn't just like parts of it. It was like multiple pages of it. So it's so interesting to see Christian saying like, thinking about how he hooked up with Magnolia in New York, but just like knowing that Magnolia wouldn't say that, but then she did say that, and him being like, what the heck? Like, why would you say that? I just love the different perspectives, and I think it's really unique how she writes these books. So yeah, I am enjoying it. I read 100 pages. I'm hoping to get to 200 today, which would put me over halfway. I think this might be the shortest book in the whole series because I feel like Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates were like almost exactly the same, like 420. The Long Way Home was 524, which is insane, and then this one's only 366, so this might be the smallest one. So I'm hoping to fly through it. Okay, so we finally get to see Magnolia through Julian's eyes. And at the beginning, he just like doesn't want her to leave. You know, he like is like, what's going on? Like, I kind of feel like I'm really enjoying my time with her. And he's just like, that's weird. Things that I thought were going to be important, but ended up, well, actually, anything could happen in these last 100 pages. We know how Jessa likes to do us. But things that stood out to me were someone was trying to trap Julian into intercepting like the movement of a painting, but Daisy knew for a fact that the painting that was being moved was a fake because she has seen the real one in I think it was actually Tara's or somebody's like family's basement, and so she was like telling Julian like, I think that's a trap, whatever. Turns out she was correct. I don't know if that's gonna come back up. It might not because of everything that went down with Tiller. We'll get there. I also thought it was weird that when they were at Christmas with Christian and Jonah's family, Daisy just like was getting a weird vibe from one of the uncles for some reason. I feel like that was weird. I think we have heard a teeny tiny bit before about Magnolia kind of like not eating. And we heard a little bit more about that through Daisy's eyes because Christian and Julian, I think, found the girls, Magnolia and Daisy, which, by the way, they could totally be friends. Found them drunk and was asking Daisy, like, did she eat? Because I guess she doesn't eat. I don't know. That's weird. I have to say about Christian, I really do like him. I feel like he's so much more direct and honest about his feelings than, like, BJ is, and Julian, too. And I love that about Christian. I feel like he wasn't so much this way in the first book, but he has grown, and I love that for him. Also, so glad he finally ended it with that Vanna Ripley girl. But we do know from The Long Way Home that there ends up being a tape of him and her together. So I'm wondering when that's going to happen in this book. Julian and Magnolia are in love. I'm sorry. Both of them are fully in love, and I'm still holding on to hope that they will end up together. I'm sorry, I know the history with her and BJ, and I know like how they feel about each other, but I would rather her be with Julian. I'm sorry. They're like obsessed with touching each other. They don't want the other one to leave. He made his longtime friend with benefits leave because Magnolia was there. I mean, come on. She's literally changing this man. So happy that Daisy and Christian are back together, totally in love. They confessed their love. She finally broke up with Tiller. I like didn't really like them together. It was dramatic, the ending, but I am curious if he's going to pop up again. Something's going to happen dramatic. I feel like that's giving something that Jessa would give us at the end. I thought it was very interesting to hear Jack's side of the story of him cheating on Gus. It makes him a little bit more human instead of just like the villain who cheated on Gus. I was waiting to hear about the blackout at Carmelo's restaurant when Julian basically dumped Magnolia on the spot. Turns out the blackout was literally just a power outage, so we're good, we're safe. And I honestly just feel so bad for Julian because he realized in that moment that he has feelings for Magnolia and like wanted to protect her in that moment, and that to him was just like, we can't do this. And then after that, when him and Carmelo got into it at one of Jonah's bars, I think, and Magnolia, we had already seen this scene through Magnolia's eyes or was it through BJ's eyes? I think it was through BJ's eyes. But she was talking to BJ and they saw like a little scuffle going on between Carmelo and Julian, and Magnolia runs over and gets in front of it and stops it. Turns out they were literally fighting because Carmelo was saying things about like him wanting to get with Magnolia. Never would I have expected that, so that's crazy. That's why I love the like hearing it from everyone else's perspective. That moment was also very important because now everyone around Julian knows how he feels about Magnolia. Even if he couldn't fully like express it, Carmelo knows, Daisy knows, all of his security can tell that he's in love with her. And then I literally wrote down the page number. 233, Julian has officially confessed to himself that he loves Magnolia. Cry face. Wow, she has no idea. He literally said, maybe in another life I could have loved you. And then he thinks to himself, even though I already love you in this one. Oh, that's crazy. Also, I LOL'd at Christian and Daisy both thinking to themselves, well, I know that he just likes to like have sex, so maybe that's what this is. And he says the same, he thinks the same thing about her. But in reality, they both just actually do love each other. Personal opinion overall, this whole Magnolia Parks universe so far, I feel like the purpose of it is Magnolia's story. And I feel like Daisy's books just offer a different perspective. I feel like Daisy is not a main character in the Magnolia Parks universe. That's personally how I feel. Like, I feel like Daisy's books literally are just to give us more information about Magnolia's story. At the moment, I do know that Daisy still has 2 more books, so I'm hoping that in those last 2 books, she is a main character and she gets her moment to shine. The last chapter that I read, we get information, more information about Daisy's mom. We already know she's worse, but all the friends are at the Hates, I think they're in Italy, their family house in Italy, because Jordan and BJ were gonna go and then they ended up inviting everyone, you remember. We hear from Daisy that the last time she was there, her mom left her with this random gardener man who was like kind of being inappropriate, and she had to like run and hide and fell asleep hiding for like hours and hours, and then her brother found her, and then the dad like killed the gardener. And I'm like, yikes. Last thing, I love Daisy and Magnolia's like budding relationship. I love how Magnolia keeps leaving clothes out on Daisy's bed for her to wear. And I kind of feel like their relationship is kind of giving me Magnolia and Bridget's relationship. And since I already know that Bridget dies, I am hoping that Magnolia and Daisy can continue this friendship and like sisterhood and hopefully heal some parts of each other. I think that would be really cute. Okay, I'm going to try and finish this right now. 116 pages. Got some popcorn, you know, my favorite snack. And we're gonna get to it. Daisy just told Julian that Magnolia and BJ had a baby in high school, and I'm just like, Magnolia asked you not to tell him. Also, I just learned that the lady, I forget her name already, the family that it's like one of Daisy's rules that Julian cannot work with them is actually their mom's family. Like the main lady in that family is their mom's sister. What? So Daisy never knew her mom's maiden name. So yeah, her mom's family, they're like, what did he call them? I want to say like people movers, basically like traffickers. And you know, that's Daisy's rule for Julian. Like they don't do that. Oh my God, something's gonna happen. And the aunt is basically threatening Julian and saying like, oh, I see you got a dog. I see you got a girlfriend. Like you're getting soft. I have eyes everywhere. And so Julian has to like double down on his like, oh, we're not dating. Like I don't like her. Like we're just having sex. And that's why he's like sleeping with other people so that the aunt's eyes can like see him, you know, being with other people and like, oh, Magnolia's not that important to him. This is stressing me out. And now Daisy is going to his office and saying, in high school, Magnolia and BJ had a baby. Then he runs his tongue over his front teeth. I know. You know. She told me. That surprises him. She told you? I mean, she asked me not to tell you, but how do you know? I know everything about her. He shrugs. Wow. I love me some Julian. Oh my God. Okay, so I remember in The Long Way Home when Julian, Jonah, and Christian just started getting weird. They just started getting weird. And Julian is telling the Hems boys, Jonah and Christian, that he met with the aunt. They didn't know it was his aunt. Now he's telling them he thinks that she is sending one of her boys, a Gilpatrick boy, who Daisy killed the other Gilpatrick boy in her first book, which was that scene when they were like at the museum and Tiller was there, and I think she killed him like to protect Tiller. The other Gilpatrick was just flying through to London. So Julian definitely thinks that the aunt has sent him here either for Daisy or Magnolia. And Jonah and Christian are just looking at each other like, we should have never let this happen. They should have never let this happen. Like Magnolia should not be involved in this life. And she's basically dating Julian. Like, I don't care how they want to act like, oh, they're not together and they're not together. Still, oh my God. And I just fear that this is why Bridget is dead. Like, I remember saying that I feel like the car accident was not an accident. I don't know. I'll have to see. Julian is currently hyping himself up to tell Magnolia that he loves her. That didn't happen in Long Way Home, so. Oh my God. Oh my god, I don't even know what to say. Julian was feeling confident, feeling like they were in the clear because nothing had happened in the last couple weeks. So he's like, bet, like I can take Magnolia to lunch. They go to this restaurant. He's hyping himself up to tell her that he loves her, runs to the bathroom to like, you know, give himself a pep talk. Both of his security follow him to the bathroom, leaving Magnolia unprotected. He comes out of the bathroom and guess who's sitting with her, chatting, kikiing, laughing it up. I forget his name actually. Ezra Brown, the man whose kids Julian kidnapped, and he's been like missing. They've been looking for him and he is back and basically threatening Julian's lover, as they're calling each other. Wow. Julian, I love him. I knew he was my favorite. The Great Undoing. The whole time I'm thinking that quote is going to come from Daisy. Oh my gosh, he loves her. He says, I hate loving her. It's the great undoing of my heart as I know it. R.I.P. Julian. Again, Magnolia. This is all about Magnolia. I swear, these books, Daisy's books, just an opportunity to get everyone around Magnolia's point of view. I swear. It's not about Daisy. It's about Magnolia. Okay, I thought this was interesting a couple chapters ago. It seems like Jonah and Christian's dad really likes Daisy, and it seems like she brings out something in him that has not been there since their little baby sister drowned like so many years ago. Because Christian always says that the dad is like, you know, never really around. Like his parents are still together, but they like don't speak, and like he's so grumpy all the time and da 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 da. They were all eating together and Daisy was just having like regular conversation, and I think it just brought me on the dad. And now he showed up to this charity event that their mom always throws, and he like has never come before, and they're like, what are you doing here? But Daisy's like, this is great, he looks great. And yeah, interesting. Love Daisy for that. It's giving Magnolia actually. Okay, I'm at 2.99 and I have to stop because I have to actually do some work, unfortunately. But wow, I just got to what we saw in Long Way Home, where Magnolia and BJ find Julian hooking up with somebody like in the hallway. BJ and Julian fight and they're gonna break up, but it's just so sad hearing it from Julian's point of view because he loves Magnolia. He really does. He loves Magnolia, and he like knew he had to do this to like really end it with her. But like he didn't even want to hook up with this girl. He's like, I have to think about Magnolia to get through this. Is this a good idea? Like, should I really be doing this? I knew I liked Julian from the beginning. From the beginning. I want them to be together, and I do think it's possible. So we'll have to see. Daisy has seen Christian's tape, and now she's gone to see him. Well, Julian made her go to see him. And Julian's messed up too, obviously, because he's sick over breaking up with Magnolia. Okay, Christian and Daisy are giving Magnolia and BJ right now. I'm upset. Basically, Daisy feels like Christian doesn't see it as a big deal, and that bothers her, which I get, because it definitely is a big deal, and he's just like, oh, it's fine. We know it was months ago, but it's like, I still don't want that on the internet. Christian just went to Daisy's house and finds Daisy and Romeo chilling out on the bed together. Let's see how he overreacts. This is wild. I felt like this was true from the beginning, but Vanna is the one that released the tape. Not surprised, but we know for sure now because she cut it right before Christian would have said Daisy's name. Don't look at my nail. Love that for Daisy. Somehow I found myself in the exact same position that I was in when I finished Long Way Home, and I just know it's gonna be bad. I just know it's gonna be bad. I am traumatized from these books, and I shouldn't have fear to finish one of these books, but I do, and I know something's about to happen. I think Jonah and Christian's mom, something's gonna happen with her. She went to refill Daisy's wine, and we don't know where she is. Oh my gosh, she's dead. Ugh. Okay, I think their mom's gonna die, and maybe that's why they were all MIA at the end of Long Way Home. I have 13 pages left. Magnolia and Bridget are about to get in their accident. The This is so interesting reading the end of this book because it's literally all about Julian feeling like I made a mistake, I shouldn't have ended with her, she's gonna come around, we actually would be great together. Meanwhile, the end of Long Way Home is Magnolia and BJ like getting engaged and planning a wedding. Wow. Julian hid a tracker in Magnolia's wallet. Oh, Bridget answers. So that's who was on the phone when they crashed. Which I think I knew. Oh, he can see them. Oh my god, I just got chills. He's about to watch them crash. Oh my god. Oh my god. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. He says he knows this is them. They're hit cars. Black, plain, unnoticeable, no plates. Wow, so he was there. But his security wouldn't let him like go to her. They had to go back, make sure Daisy was okay. I have 9 more pages. I'm terrified. Oh, something's about to happen. What just happened? Romeo is dropping something off to Daisy. This doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. They're kidnapping her. But it's fine. It's Romeo and Miguel. They're putting her in the car. They left Christian inside the house. He doesn't know. They're fleeing the country. Okay, we got 2 more pages. Ugh. Okay. That's all we get. That's all we get. Julian and Daisy are fleeing the country. Julian had to basically be sedated because he's so upset about Magnolia and he doesn't even know if she's alive. So he probably thinks she's dead. And what's crazy is I don't think we're gonna know anything more about them until the last 2 books that Jessa hasn't even freaking started writing yet. Oh my god. Okay. That was great. But honestly, I just need to know what's gonna happen with Magnolia now that her sister is fucking dead. So I will be starting Into the Dark immediately. It has been quite some time, at least a week, if not 2. Just like with the holidays and everything. I think the day after I finished The Great Undoing, I had a Friendsgiving, and then I went to Michigan and had a Thanksgiving there, and then we came home. I had to work 2 days and then Thanksgiving here, and then we had a bunch of fun holiday festivities that Thanksgiving week. So, and I didn't want to read without you, so that's my excuse. But I did start Into the Dark, and I'm 100 pages in. So I just wanted to share my first thoughts of reading Into the Dark. First of all, maybe it was the playlist that I was listening to last night when I read 50 to 100. But it was like I was feeling very like bittersweet, and like I really want to savor reading this book because it is Magnolia's last book. And I don't know what is going to happen. I don't know what I'm going to find out. I don't know what she's going to go through other than what she's already gone through. But I got a little bit sad. I was like, I didn't want this story to end. Like, I love Magnolia. We learned, I knew that this was going to come up. We learned that Henry and Jonah fought about the whole Tara thing. And Henry has completely just been like, I'm done. I've given up. Even though Tara like wanted to choose him, but she couldn't because of everything that was going on with Jonah and Christian's mom. But so Tara's really sad about it, and like Magnolia and Beach and everybody knows that like she wanted to pick Henry, and now she's all sad because Henry basically hates her. I can't believe I didn't start with this, but yeah, Bridget died in the hospital. Tragic. What's so crazy is when I was reading this, I don't know if it felt like this when I was reading it, but I guess it did. Like, it feels like a distant, like, traumatic memory of, like, them being in the hospital. Magnolia, like, they're all, like, sitting on the floor. And then hours later, BJ realizes, like, she's still in her heels from the dinner they went to. Something about Jessa's writing, it feels so real and so personal. And I'm heartbroken about Bridget. I think we are going to get a little bit deeper into Magnolia's parents, because I know we did with the very last few pages of The Long Way Home, and how, you know, we know that her parents weren't really great, but her sister was always there, and now she's gone. Magnolia's parents didn't even, like, console her in the hospital. Like they didn't worry about her at all, which is very unfortunate. Magnolia seems to not be eating, and later BJ says out loud to his therapist, Claire, like, yes,
her eating disorder is back. And he's like, wow, like I can't believe I just said that out loud. Like, it's true. Also Magnolia, so Magnolia's eating disorder is back. Also, she's very paranoid about like BJ dying or anyone dying or anything unhealthy. And also she's very afraid of cars. Like she doesn't want to get in the car. And then her dad gets her a car for her birthday. Sir, read the room. There's been no words from Julian or Daisy Hates for 3 months. They're just gone. He didn't even reach out. Well, I guess through Magnolia's perspective, it's interesting because she's like, he didn't even reach out. Like if he found out that I got in an accident or if he heard that Bridget died, but little does she know he actually does know that they were an accident, like he witnessed it all and it's because of him, but she doesn't know, she thinks it's an accident. Of course the tabloids and everyone is following them everywhere and they're writing these crazy stories about Bridget and her being like a party girl and all this stuff, even though she was the most innocent, perfect little angel baby girl. BJ mentioned in one of his chapters that he has 3 regrets, one being Paley in the bathtub, one being something he doesn't even want to talk about. What is that, sir? And number 3, not knowing that something was wrong with Bridget. And he's like, I remember seeing her in the room, in Magnolia's hospital room. Magnolia's all cut up. Like, I couldn't see past Magnolia because obviously, like, he loves her and he can't imagine something happening to her. Bridget was just sitting in the chair. She was fine. They had already checked her. She just had, like, a cut on her head and her arm and whatever. And be just like, oh, I'll take care of Magnolia. You can go. And he feels like, you know, maybe he should have seen that something was wrong with her. We've also learned that BJ was Bridget's first kiss, which I think is a little bit weird. I think he was just doing her a favor because, like, we all know she was an innocent little baby girl and she hadn't had a first kiss and she was scared and da-da-da. And so he just did it, but I don't know. That's weird to me, like that. That's just weird. I don't like that. Magnolia's parents are having an affair with each other after getting divorced because he was having an affair with the housekeeper nanny lady. Seriously? I mean, come on, like, grow up. Grow up. And BJ knows, and he's pissed at them, and they're all keeping the secret from Magnolia. And I don't know how she's gonna react when she finds out. I'm interested to see how much more we get about Magnolia's grief, because I've noticed that we're hearing a lot less about fashion, what people are wearing. Like, she's not saying, listing everything that somebody's wearing as much as she did in the other books. But she is constantly saying, like, oh, right now Bridget would be saying this or Bridget would be doing this. And at one point BJ was acting weird. I don't know why he was acting weird. I don't know if it was having to do with her parents having an affair and him like trying to keep from her. I don't know, that was weird. She's like, he's acting weird, like what if he's cheating on me? No, he would never do that. But then again, like he has before. I need to text Bridget about it. Reaches for her phone and then she's like, oh my gosh, I can't. And that I can't. She says she keeps Bridget's phone plugged in on her nightstand just to make sure that whenever she texts Bridget, the messages don't go green because that would be horrible. And also she says that there's been 2 times or 3 times when BJ's phone died and his messages went green and she like flipped out thinking he's dead because that's obviously her biggest fear now. And then on her birthday, she just, this is from BJ's perspective, but she just wakes up in the morning and the second she opens her eyes, she just starts crying. And that really got me. Like, I could cry thinking about that. Because that's such a real feeling. And again, the way that Jessa Hastings writes is just very realistic. And I love it. And I'm obsessed and I don't want the story to end. Through BJ, we also are learning a little bit more about Magnolia's, like, ADHD. And also, shout out to BJ for being in therapy. His therapist, Claire, is that girl. He's talking to her about Magnolia's ADHD, her eating disorder. He's also talking about, like, his struggles in life and how like he really wanted to play rugby but then he tore his hamstring really bad. He always feels like he's not good enough like for his dad. And then even like after they lost their baby, how he like had to be the strong one because nobody else knew and Magnolia obviously was going through it. And then also everything that happened when he was younger with that girl Zadie, which then made him, when he saw her at that party years later, that's why he did what he did with Paley. BJ actually has like a lot of stuff that we kind of just like shove under the rug, but I'm glad that that's coming to light now. Last thing, BJ and Magnolia and Tara run into Officer Tiller at like a coffee shop, and obviously we all know he's very attractive, and so Magnolia is trying to like push Tara onto him, and it was really weird and awkward, but I think we're trying to show more other sides of her ADHD, so that was interesting. But I am curious to see what's going to happen with him. He says he hasn't heard from any of them, the Hates, either. Maybe Tara will date him, but she also was like, I definitely don't want to cross Daisy Hates, even though Daisy probably wouldn't care because obviously she loves Christian now. So we'll see. But I will continue reading this, and I probably will check in when I'm like halfway, which is a long way to go because again, this is like 700 pages. So it's been a while since I've updated. I read a lot more than I thought I was gonna read. I am now at 454, so more than halfway. There's 700 pages, so I've got, what is that, 250 left? Insane. I have some thoughts. I obviously took my notes, as you know I do. But I do feel like I need to say that I got in a little bit of a slump with this book. It just, I don't know if it's the length that is a little bit daunting. Is that the word? If it's just kind of boring, I don't know. Okay, so if it's true that the last time we spoke was 100 pages, Henry's childhood love has returned. So he's so excited. Tara seems down a little bit at first, obviously, but she's fine. They're together. Great. Magnolia's parents suck. We're learning more and more about them. Magnolia's eating disorder is out of control. She's so thin, she refuses therapy. I'm loving BJ right now because I think there's been like 2 or 3 times where him and Magnolia have gotten into a little bit of a fight, but the way that he handles it is so much better than he has in the past. Like, she will like run away, but instead of just being like, whatever, like, I'm not dealing with her, he like follows her or does whatever to make it better, and I just am loving him right now. He also specifically asked Magnolia to stop making jokes about him cheating on her, which I love the communication. And I also am starting to feel bad for BJ because I think I said before, he's like, you know, we don't really think about what he has gone through as well, and a lot of that is coming out right now. But I just really needed him to tell her about her parents' affair, which he obviously did not, so that was another fight that they got into once she found out. Haley, Magnolia's ex-best friend, is insane. She truly thought that BJ like had a thing for her, like actually like secretly loved her, and that's why he slept with her that one night that he cheated on Magnolia. No ma'am. No ma'am, that is incorrect. And I'm glad that BJ set the record straight. Like I said again, I'm liking BJ. I'm liking him. The grief that Magnolia is dealing with is unbearable. We got a flashback to Bridget's funeral when Magnolia spoke and she brought up the how many loves do you get in a lifetime motif. And obviously she thinks that BJ is one and Bridget is the other one. She literally says about her sister, "I'm burying my guiding light." How sad. I could not handle this. She also mentioned that she does feel like Tom was a love in her lifetime and Christian was a love in her lifetime. And then just wait for it. We'll get to the next one. Also, Tom and BJ both have the same Bambi, like dead Bambi tattoo. Did I miss, like, did they get that together? I'm confused. Like, did they get that together when she was in New York? I think I maybe missed something. Again, BJ's really struggling. He hates his dad. His dad makes him feel like he's not good enough, like he's not doing anything. Something came up that I thought was interesting where BJ is now saying, like, basically his whole life, his biggest goal has been Magnolia. Like, the only thing he cares about has been Magnolia. I found it interesting how Jessa has been, like, in this book, writing him as, like, such a caregiver for her and, like, so loving and so just cares about her so much. And I can't truly remember if that's how it was in the first 2 Magnolia books, because now I've gotten used to it reading this huge book. And I don't feel like he used to be like that, but I'm glad that she's writing him that way now so that we can actually see this problem coming for him where now he's like, what is my purpose in life? Because it can't just be Magnolia. Daisy came back. Her and Magnolia are cool. They're friends. Julian didn't come back the same time as her, but Daisy did confirm to Magnolia that yes, Julian was sad, like over Magnolia basically. We also learned that something happened as a kid to Magnolia and she told BJ and he hates her dad because of it, but we don't really know what it is unless I missed something. Magnolia finds out about her parents' affair. They're all like on this boat and she sees them like canoodling. I literally wrote, long story short, it's been boring. Mostly about Magnolia trying to trust BJ and her eating disorder issues and dealing with Bridget's death, obviously. Her parents are now re-engaged, which I think is insane. Her nanny lady that was married to the dad left. Grandma's gonna move to Russia because her parents are like teenagers who are in love and can't focus on anything else, and they can't take care of her grandma, and she was found out on the street walking alone. What? But when I tell you, the minute that there was text messages from Julian to Magnolia, I was so ready to, like, I was like, okay, now my attention is back. Like, I'm ready to go. I love Julian. I was so giddy when he texted her. I was just like, oh, Julian's back. That whole chapter was my favorite. He basically confessed his love for her, told her he had never loved anyone else like her, kissed her while BJ could see from the window, which I'm glad BJ was okay with it. I like that about him. I literally wrote, he's growing on me in this book. He's a good man, Savannah. But yes, Magnolia also confessed to Julian that she did have really strong feelings for him, and she confessed to us that he is another love in her lifetime, a different kind of love. And she explains to him that, like, in another universe, he would probably be the one for her. Like, if BJ wasn't there, he would be the one for her. And I just love Julian. Like, I really want them to be together. That's like my goal. There was something that BJ said that made me feel so bad for him. 374. Wonder how I'm here doing this again. Didn't I just do this the other week? How many times is she going to believe the worst in me? How much of my life am I going to spend proving that I'm not who everyone keeps saying I am? I feel so bad for him because, like, the press and paparazzi and whoever else keeps putting out these crazy stories about him, like cheating on her and stuff like that, and he has not done, like, it's false. He hasn't done it, and he just feels like he literally only cheated on her one time. And I also was forgetting this because he just, like, you just think of him as like a cheater and like a fuckboy and all this stuff. And he literally cheated on her only one time. And so he's really struggling because anytime Magnolia sees something in the press, she immediately believes it and, like, you know, doesn't answer her phone when he calls and, like, you know, I don't know. She just freaks out, which I totally get. But if she says she wants to trust him, then she actually has to trust him. And this is where I think it could be their downfall because, like, if you can't get over that, Magnolia, which I wouldn't be able to. So, no shame. But if you can't get over that, then you guys can't be together. And maybe you need to be with Julian. Just saying. So all of that results in Magnolia and BJ going to therapy together. She's obviously not for it, but I forgot that BJ's therapist was, like, recommended to him or forced on him through Bridget, so obviously Magnolia loves that. We have a huge fight between Magnolia and her dad, who I cannot stand, along with everyone else. I personally don't think that Magnolia and BJ should have told their parents about Billy, the baby that they lost. I just feel like, knowing Magnolia's parents, like, it would have been better for them to keep it between themselves. But anyway, they did tell them, and they all gather on December 3rd to have, like, this brunch, I guess, after visiting the tree. Magnolia and her dad get in a huge fight, and he basically tells her that he wishes she would have died instead of Bridget. And I just have no words for him. That's pretty much where I stopped. I'm curious to see more of what's going to happen with Magnolia and her parents, like, if there's going to be some changes. I want to see more of Julian for Magnolia. I'm curious if her and BJ can make it work. They're continuing their therapy. She can finally say out loud that Bridget is dead, but she's still unwell. So I don't know how she's gonna ever recover from this, honestly. Like, her sister dying. I mean, it all comes back to that. Like, I don't know how she's supposed to carry on. But I do think things are gonna pick up because BJ mentioned that Jonah is being really weird and, like, stressed about something but won't tell him. So I think there's gonna be some drama. And I'm hoping to finish in, like, 2-3 days. So we'll see. You guys, so much has happened in the last 100 pages. I only have 100 pages left. So I'm gonna finish today, but of course I have to update you. I feel like I need more light. I think that's better. I also straightened my hair, so I look different for this last part of the vlog. But BJ learns that his parents had an affair like 5 years ago, which is horrible, obviously, but kind of a good thing for him because he can finally see that his dad is not perfect and that people make mistakes and yada yada. Magnolia's mom explains to her that she basically, like, trapped her dad, like, purposely trapped Magnolia's dad into being with her, like, when she told him that she was pregnant. Like, she planned to get pregnant so that she could be with him forever. And she tells Magnolia this basically to, like, explain or, like, give him a reason to be a bad dad. Question mark. Her parents are absolutely wild. However, this is where, in my opinion, it's starting to get a little unrealistic. Like, does all of this stuff really happen to one person or to one couple? Like, I mean, so what? And I know, like, people do go through a lot of stuff, and maybe that's what makes this book so much more realistic than any book I've ever read, but I don't know. I just feel like BJ cheating on her, she lost a baby in the past, her eating disorder, her sister dies, she was dating a gang lord, they're rich and famous, her parents hate her, the dad had an affair with the nanny,
divorce mom to you. Like, it's just a lot, you know? And it's starting to feel a little bit unrealistic, and it's kind of giving me the ick, which I hate to say because I've loved all these books, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Maybe I'm looking for something bad. There's obviously a lot more that has gone on, but kind of like the last thing that was important is that at BJ's older sister's birthday party, they see Zadie, that girl that like basically did things with BJ when he was underage and like blackout drunk and like obviously didn't didn't even know her. Magnolia threatens to basically have Julian get rid of her if she ever like sees her again. So the girl basically needs to like leave London. I don't know. But shout out to Magnolia for threatening her for screwing up her man, honestly. And we also learned that she also almost tried that on Henry, but Magnolia like walked into the room. And Magnolia has no memory of this, but she like walked into the room and like told the girl like, who are you? Like, get out. Like, you're not cool enough to hang out with us, basically. So she basically saved Henry from that. Daisy and Chris, see, now I'm gonna be screwed up because I'm gonna need the next 2 Daisy books to come out, and I'm gonna have nothing to do for the after I finish these 100 pages. But apparently Daisy and Christian are no longer together. She apparently slept with Rome, the ex-boyfriend. Question mark. Something is really off. Jonah's acting weird. Magnolia goes to speak to Daisy and Julian about like everything that's going on with Christian. Why'd you guys break up? Blah, blah, blah. They're both so rude to her. Julian is so rude to her. And I just think that this is going back to everything that happened at the end of Long Way Home and at the end of The Great Undoing, where Jonah, Christian, Julian, all of them like know that they need to keep Daisy, or they need to keep Magnolia away. Like, she needs to not be involved because obviously that's why she was hit in her car with Bridget. That's why Julie and Daisy had to run away. Like, basically their whole world, Julie and Daisy's world and Magnolia and all of their world, is like in danger if Magnolia is around the Hates family. Also, this is the craziest part though. Her assistant, Daniela, that she's been talking about this whole book. Oh, I got a new assistant, da da da. She works so much. She never, like, she always wants to work overtime. Like, we're going out to this party and she offered to drive us. Like, and I told her, go home, like, take some time off. Julian like remembered her name, Danielle, and Magnolia's like, I guess he was good at names. Tara and Detective Tiller, because they're together now, were both like, when Magnolia was gonna leave somewhere, oh, is Danielle outside waiting for you? No, I can go home on my own. So I think that Daniela is like actually her security guard hired by Julian, and like she just says no, BJ just says no, because BJ also is like clueless to all of like the danger that Magnolia's in. So I think that Daniela is coverage for Magnolia provided by Julian. That's why she works so much. That's why she's like, oh, I'll drive you, like I'll work overtime, because like that's what she's supposed to be doing. Just like all of Julian's guys, they're always around 24/7. And I think Tara and Tiller must know. But Detective Tiller did walk her home that day that Daniela was not there, and like flipped out when like he heard like tires screeching in a car driving by, and Magnolia was like, chill, like what's going on? But I definitely think that Tiller and everybody except Magnolia and BJ know how much danger Magnolia is in, and that's why he like flipped out and like threw her against the wall and like tried to protect her when that happened, even though there was no real danger. But we're getting clues. I love the way that she writes. I am loving this. It actually, I know in the last clip I literally was saying that it was getting kind of boring, and it definitely is, but obviously I'm in the last, you know, I'm in the home stretch, so it's really good right now. Also, Julian mentioned something about Scotland and Barnes. I'm confused, but I'm sure, or I guess I'm not sure. I never know what's gonna happen, but let's finish it. So Magnolia, BJ, and Allie and Henry, BJ's brother and sister, are on this trip that Bridget and Allie, her best friend, were gonna go on, but obviously she died. But they all decided to go. Magnolia's doing a lot of reflecting, which is great for her. A bit too much for me. Like, I'm just trying to, you know, see what's happening here. A lot of reflecting, and she ends up asking Henry to walk her down the aisle, which I think is so cute. Love that for her. Before they left, when BJ said bye to Jonah, because they didn't know if they were going to be gone like 2 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever, so they were like, you know, just hanging out with all their friends saying bye. Jonah was once again being weird. Being so weird, and also like, he's happy that they're getting out of the city, getting out of London for a little bit. Like, maybe he's a little bit relieved that like they won't be in danger. I don't know what's going on, but it's stressing me out. But in Magnolia's reflecting, she said something that kind of, actually, wow. Okay, I understand the cover now. I didn't really understand like the background, like where this is, and the title, Into the Dark. So they're on this trip in Southeast Asia. And right now they're I don't even know. They're like going to this whole like hike situation. I don't even freaking know, but it's this, okay? And she says basically if they want to make it to the peak, they have to keep climbing like in the middle of the night. So back into the darkness we go. Into the dark. Back into the darkness we go, just the tiny dots of lights up the side of the mountain like moving stars, each of them a headlight. And it's funny how much this trek feels like the physical embodiment of my last year in a single moment. This confusing, horrible walk in the dark. I'm falling all the time, tripping over everything. BJ's trying to help me, but he's in the dark too. A sort of floundering that I mostly hate, but that feels distinctively like living, so it's impossible to hate it all the way through. That's been this year for me. I've hated it fiercely for the most part, but then, is this not just the human experience? Shoved into this impossibly deep lake of loss and losing, barely keeping your head above it, then drowning in it, choking on it, somehow surviving against all odds, and then re-emerging a little bit reborn. Jessa Hastings. This cover is beautiful. All the stars and everything. All of her luggage that she brought when they all agreed it was going to be a one suitcase trip into the dark. I get it. So this whole book has been her being in the dark, trekking through the dark. She's done it again. Okay, I'm now on 655. So I just read 50 pages. So we literally have 50 pages left. I don't know what's going to happen, but I have to pee. And then we'll finish. They're getting married in Bali. And I'm so happy. Magnolia just had a conversation with her dad. He wasn't invited, but he showed up obviously because he doesn't follow directions or care for anyone's wishes. But he did apologize very nicely to her, and she stuck to her word to Bridget and forgave him and allowed him to be at the wedding. However, he's not walking her down the aisle. But now BJ is waiting for Magnolia to walk down the aisle. She's about to walk down. And I just had this memory. I think at the beginning of this vlog, months ago, I saw like a spoiler. She's walking down the aisle, arm in arm with my brother, Closed my eyes and looked away before I finished it. But in my mind, I was like hoping and praying for it to be something about Magnolia and Julian, and that my brother was from Daisy's perspective. But it now makes sense. It's obviously going to be Magnolia walking down the aisle with Henry. We'll see if I find that quote very soon. There's a new sun in the universe and it's hanging off my brother's arm, walking down an aisle to me. Cute! Also, I forgot to say, Jonah is marrying them, and I think that's so cute. My mom's calling me. Hello? No, you're not. I'm by myself. He's at work. They're married. BJ says, it took us a minute, took a long way home to get there, but we're here now, and I wouldn't change a frickin' thing. 17 pages left. I think something's about to go down. Magnolia is having a great time at their wedding, and then she's like, gets a little bit sad about Bridget, which totally makes sense. She says, I just need a minute, so I slip out while no one's looking and make my way to the terrace. Hey, Valentine, says my favorite voice in the world from behind me. Oh, it's BJ. I'm good. BJ turned some of Bridget's ashes into a black diamond necklace. That's cute. He also wrote a speech that he thinks would be similar to what Bridget would have to say at their wedding. That is so sweet. You see, BJ, I like BJ. I'm liking him. I think Magnolia is pregnant. I've been a bit nervous to tell him, so I avoided it for the first few days, and then those few days turned into a few weeks. I didn't mean to keep it from him. It just happened to turn into something I was keeping from him. And she's weird about food, but not in her eating disorder way, just in a regular way. She's got to be pregnant. I just don't want raw fish today. My stomach's been funny. Just kidding. Her big secret was that she bought another property. But I do think she's pregnant. I need to like block the rest of the page so that I don't spoil anything for myself. She's pregnant. I'm confused now. She's pregnant. You know what? It's a girl. Wow. Okay, that's it. Magnolia and BJ are done. Magnolia and BJ are done. That's it. I finished it. I'm happy for them. They're married. They're having a baby girl. They're working on fixing their relationships with their parents. I feel like I don't know what to say now. I don't really know what to say. I feel like this has been such a long time coming. I mean, 5 books. I don't really read series like that. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do now with my life. in terms of like, I feel like this has taken up, I mean, I read Magnolia Parks, I think at the end of August, and it's now December. It's literally about to be Christmas, and I'm done. I loved this book. It was a bit of a slow burn for me. I mean, 700 pages, but it's very emotional, and I get it. And I love the Into the Dark theme, I guess. What do I say? I'm speechless right now.
Just kidding, I'm back. I felt like I wanted to give a better, like, holistic, full review of the series because I think I was a little bit speechless after finishing Into the Dark, and I took some time. It's actually been a lot of time. I've lived a few lives. Now it's 2025. I had the flu, I'm recovering, but it's fine. Everything's fine. My silk press is hanging on by a thread. It's fine, okay? So I did a lot of thinking when I was driving to Michigan for Christmas, and I wrote a lot of notes. I do have to say that I appreciate it being all tied up with Magnolia and BJ getting married. Everything, the relationship is tied in a little bow. They're gonna have a new baby. It's a girl. And though I am a Julian fan, I do feel like she needed BJ. Julian wouldn't have been able to help her during this time of losing Bridget as well as BJ would have. If she was with Julian and this happened, she would have needed BJ. Okay, and then kind of like a rapid fire, but not. My favorite book of the series, The Long Way Home for sure, even though I was kind of like dreading reading it. I don't know why. And also I think it's not the longest because Into the Dark is the longest, but it was pretty long. But The Long Way Home, it was definitely frustrating at times, but I just loved learning more about Magnolia and BJ's relationship and the past, and the ending got me. It just gave real life. Quickest to get through, I read The Great Undoing the fastest. I was just eating that up. I love Julian. Favorite quote was the Great Undoing quote from Julian. Let me find it. I'm unable to find it in my book, but in another life I would have let you never, what? In another life I would have let you, never mind that I already love her in this one. It's the great undoing of my heart as I know it. Oh, Julian. Love him. Favorite person, Julian. Favorite to see from a second point of view, like we saw it twice. Oh, so like favorite thing that happened that I got to see twice. Definitely the car accident with Magnolia and Bridget. Seeing it in The Great Undoing from Julian's perspective was just wild because we like already know what's gonna happen, but we don't know that it's because of Magnolia's relationship with Julian that this happens. So seeing it and being like, ugh, and like witnessing it again, but knowing more and seeing it from him, like watching him watch her get hit, that was my favorite. Most improved or the best character development, BJ. I loved him in Into the Dark. I struggle with holding grudges, and this is just me personally. I struggle with forgiveness and all of that. So like it still hurts a little bit, but definitely most improved and best character development story-wise. And then I was thinking, like, Jonah is the only one that we don't hear his perspective, but that's literally a lie because we don't hear Henry's either, so just never mind. There's an ongoing conversation online on whether or not, or of whether you're a Magnolia girl, of whether you're a Magnolia girl or a Daisy girl. I am for sure a Magnolia girl. I love her with all my heart. She's that girl. I've said it before, it's the Magnolia Parks series, so even the Daisy books are about Magnolia. Like the Daisy books, I feel, maybe not so much the first one, but definitely The Great Undoing. The Daisy books are literally just a second perspective at Magnolia's life, like through Julian's eyes. Do you know what I mean? And Christian too, like he had a whole relationship with her. So, I don't know. It's the Magnolia Parks universe, okay? Thoughts on Magnolia through Julian's eyes versus Magnolia through BJ's eyes? I don't know. I think that, like we learned in Into the Dark, BJ's whole life is literally just about Magnolia. Like, all he cares about is Magnolia, and sometimes it can be a little like, okay, get a life, when comparing to Julian, because he has this whole, like, empire that he has built, I guess. I guess you can't really say he built it, because obviously it comes from his family, but they died when he was so young, so he has really, like, been getting stuff done. He's not allowed to, or he's not supposed to love Magnolia, but he does. So I feel like her through his eyes is a little bit more special because of that, because it's like a forbidden love type of thing. Even though really the forbidden love in this whole series is Daisy and Christian. They're really giving like Romeo and Juliet type vibes. Yeah, that's my thoughts on Magnolia through the different guy's eyes. When asked what would you say this series is about, I literally wrote character development in general, real life, how people grow up and develop through life with their found family and like biological real family. It's literally just about real life. Obviously they're so rich and blah 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 and they do all this, and it's not realistic in that way, but the things that they deal with in terms of like family and relationships and death and grief. I was explaining to someone the other day when one of my best friends asked like, oh, would I like the series? Should I read it after I finished all of them? And I was saying, I don't know. I don't know how to recommend it to somebody because you don't really know what it's about until the end of The Long Way Home, book 3, when Bridget dies, because you're thinking it's just like a romance between Magnolia and BJ, which it is, but it's bigger than that. Going back to BJ's character development, in book 1, we literally hate BJ, we're like, leave him, he's trash, kick him to the curb. By the end, we're so happy for them. By the end of Into the Dark, we're so happy for them to have made it to this big commitment, their marriage, their wedding, they have a house together, they're moving away, they're pregnant, they're gonna have a kid, they're having this life together. It's giving real life. It's not such an easy, happy ending. It's more realistic. And I feel like throughout the series, you just learn more about the people. It goes deeper, so you understand their ways and their whys, which I think is very important. And I heard that before I started reading it. I heard that when you read the later books, you understand like, oh, like that's why they were acting like that. And that's a fact. That's how I would describe it as well. I also think the way that Jessa Hastings wrote about cheating is very realistic, because Magnolia feels like, oh, maybe I should get over it. It was so many years ago, but realistically, it's really hard to get over that. And while some people like are like, just move on, that's so long ago, Magnolia's like, how am I supposed to be with him and know that he did that and not think about it? Some people thought that the person that BJ cheated on Magnolia with at the way beginning was Bridget. I never thought that. That would be absolutely insane. Even though he was her first kiss, him cheating on her with Bridget would be more of a betrayal from Bridget, I feel like, because that's her sister, versus him cheating on her. Well, I mean, that is her best friend. I don't know, but that would have been just too much. I don't think you can write that story. Okay, last thing I want to talk about is the wedding. And I listened to a podcast about the Magnolia Parks series, and they were saying how we got all the details of the wedding, which we usually don't get in books. And I feel like that's so true. Like, I didn't think about it when I was reading it because it was towards the end and I was honestly just trying to get through it. But she really gave us all the details. Like, I felt like I was there and I was a part of it. Like, I could picture it, I could hear it. It was great. We had all the vows. We never get that. I've never heard that or read that, I don't think. Her walking down the aisle and all of BJ's thoughts during that, their kiss, Jonah officiating the wedding, and then BJ giving her Bridget's necklace and reading vows that he feels like would be something that Bridget would say, was so sweet and so detailed. We literally just got it all. Jessa left us needing nothing else. Even Magnolia's conversation with her dad before the wedding started, we just got it all. I wonder how many pages that whole wedding was. Like, if I were to count, I'm not gonna count, but I'm curious. Okay, what's next? Daniela, Magnolia's assistant, for sure hired by, no, actually it's confirmed. I went back. It's confirmed that Jonah found her for Magnolia, so it makes sense. So Jonah, probably working with Julian, found an assistant for Magnolia, which is actually protection for her. What happened with Christian and Daisy? Why'd they break up? Why is she sleeping with Romeo? What's going on? Something's going on. It has to do with Julian. Why were they so mean to Magnolia when she was like, what's going on? I can't wait for Daisy's next book. I actually can't wait. Jonah and Christian's mom, is she still alive? I actually don't know. Does Daisy get to go back to school? I mean, that was her dream. Is she gonna have a normal life? What's gonna happen? I don't know, but I really felt like I needed to close up this vlog, close up this series with actual thoughts instead of just like my raw day one reaction after finishing the book, because I think it wasn't fair to end it like that. So I'm just glad to close it up for real. I love these books. Frustrating at times, very frustrating most of the time, but I love these books. Let me know your thoughts. I'm sure if you've made it this far, you've read the books and you're just obsessed and you just want to talk about it. So let me know your thoughts, and I can't wait for the next one to come out. Bye.